Hello everybody, Matthew Armstrong here on day 3 of our 90-day transformation from mediocrity to mastery. Whatever area or whatever you want to master in your life. You want to master your life, right? So that's why you're here. So first things first is, I don't know how the quality is going to be on this. I don't know if we're going to be cut off at any time. You know, there's a lot of great things about living where I live. I live on a small town on the east coast of Spain. A lot of great things about it. Just been down the beach there, had a great workout on the beach, went for a swim in the sea, lay in the sun. It was just fantastic. I was able to walk home in 5 minutes and sit down and start this hangout. But one of the issues is the internet connection is terrible anywhere here. No one can get a really good bandwidth, you know. So we're working on that. We're looking to get another thing connected in. So next week we can put up a lot more better quality hangouts, because I've been looking at the quality and the quality hasn't been great. So we're looking to try to boost it next week. I'm going to go and see the company on Monday and try and get that sorted out. But anyway, at the minute the World Cup's on, there's another match on this evening, and that really, last time I tried to do a hangout when the World Cup was on last week, I just kept on getting knocked off. So if we get knocked off, we can get knocked off, but let's give it a go anyway, and let's see how we get on. Tomorrow night, again, there's the finals on tomorrow night, so tomorrow night may or may not work out, but as of next week, we're going to get the quality better, and that's life. You know, we're not perfect, but we do aim to improve, right? So don't worry about the want or the need to be perfect. That stops a lot of people in their tracks, creates procrastination. You know, it's like the need to be perfect is like, okay, I'm not going to drive my car through the city until all lights are green. When all lights are green, then I'm going to drive. You know, it's not going to work like that. Sometimes there's going to be traffic jams, there's going to be road works, there's going to be red traffic lights, and sometimes you just got to wait, and sometimes you got to take detours. You know, but as long as you start and you get going, then you can always improve, and you'll make progress, even if it's like a little bit like this, like this, like this. You know, before you know it, you've gone a long way, right? So we're looking to make progress here. We're looking to improve, not be perfect. So, like I said, I'm not perfect in one sense of the word. In another sense of the word, there is a perfect order working at all times, and we shall be talking about that as we move through this 90-day transformation. So even though that appears, it's perceived we're not perfect, there is a perfection at work, which you'll come to understand through this 90 days of transformation from mediocrity to mastery. It's all going well so far, which is great. So I'm going to read the first part of the values factor. By the way, if you haven't watched the very first day of this, you've got to go back and watch these sequentially. Otherwise, you're going to be wondering what's going on. But we're doing a reading every single day, about 7 pages of the values factor. If you haven't got that book, then get that book. It's part of the course. And when you come to do the exercises, you're going to want to have your own book for the exercises. It's not going to work out as well for you if you don't. I'm just reading over some of this, and it's just incredible. You know, one of the things in life is appreciation. And when we don't have appreciation for things, quite often we miss out. You know, there's a lot of amazing things that have come to me in my life, and more often than not, I have so much appreciation for them. But sometimes I have to remind myself to be appreciative of all the amazing gifts and blessings that have come to me throughout my life. And we've all had that. You know, we've all had amazing gifts and blessings that have come to us. But do we always appreciate them? And quite often, what we don't appreciate goes out of our lives, or doesn't have the impact on our lives that it could have if we just simply appreciated what we have, what we were given. And when we appreciate something, then we tend to get more of it. You know, if we appreciate someone in our life, then they tend to show up even better for us, right? If we don't appreciate someone, they tend to disappear out of our life. You know, if we don't appreciate something, if we have something we don't appreciate it, then we end up breaking it, you know, or not using it, or we don't get the work out of it. We don't get the whatever it can give us, right? So appreciation is a powerful thing, and I truly appreciate what I've learned from this book, and it's just so powerful. It's incredible, really, really incredible. And so let's, without further ado, I'm going to go through this first, and then we'll talk more about things afterwards. So we're up to page 15, and as we go through this book, it'll be 7 pages a day, roughly, and it'll take us about 60 days to go through everything, including all the exercises. If we just take the small actions every day can lead up to an amazing things over an amount of time. You know, something that I have struggled with is languages. You know, when I lived in Japan, I struggled with the language. I saw people picking it up. I struggled with it. Here in Spain, I struggle with the Spanish language. I've been here 4 years now, and I'm not that proficient in it, really. You know, I can hold basic conversation, but once anything, you know, it's just not there to go in depth with anything. I can't have an in-depth conversation with a Spanish person, and that kind of annoys me, you know, and it restricts me. So I was just speaking to a guy today who'd only lived here 2 years, and he's doing business in Spanish, and everyone he speaks to is in Spanish in his business, and he's successful. And I was saying, you know, how do you learn it so fast? Well, one of the things is he's Dutch. You know, Dutch people tend to speak about 3 languages, so it just kind of comes to them quicker, right? But another thing is, it's you know, that could be like an excuse, like, oh well, you know, I'm not Dutch, right? So, but it's what he did every day. He said, well, I just learned a new word every day. Every day I just made it my business to learn one new important word. Of course he did class and things like that, but I thought that's such a powerful thing, to learn one new word every day. Because if you learn one new word every day, after a year, that's 365 words. Your useful words. You know, don't folks who learn useful words. Don't just go from the dictionary A, B, you know, all the A's. Useful words, and after 365 words, you know, that's good conversation you can have. You know, most people don't use more than 100 words in a day in their general conversations, right? So to know 365 words straight away, you're far along the track. 2 years of that, that's 700 and oh, caught me off guard here. 700 and something words. I have to get this right now. 70. Maybe 770 words, is it? Yeah, something like that. In 2 years, you know, that's a full vocabulary. There's few people that use more words than 700 words in a month. You know, and most people are using the same words every day. So straight away, I'm thinking, if I did that, if I had done that over the past 4 years that I've been here, you know, that would give me a full. I'd be completely fluent by now if I just did that, one new word a day. And so whatever you want to master in life, just look to make incremental improvements every day. You know, if it's martial arts, learn a new technique every day. Learn something new every day. You know, if it's a new language, learn a new word every day. Whatever it is in your life, look to learn something new, a new tactic, a new strategy, something every single day. Even if it's the smallest thing, there's power in every day. Power in every day. So, values factor. Values comes from voids. One of the this is great stuff. I got a real aha moment from this part. One of the things that's most powerful about our values is how they reflect what is being perceived as lacking in our lives. The seeming difficulties, challenges, obstacles, sorrows, or voids. Whatever we perceive as missing sets off a powerful hunger for precisely that thing. The perception of lack or void creates a corresponding value that drives us until we feel fulfilled. For example, when I was a child, I felt restricted by the braces I was forced to wear. I perceived that restriction as a void, a lack of freedom. At age 4, I begged my father to release me from that void. I promised to keep my hands and feet straight on my own if only I didn't have to wear the braces. My father agreed. I was so thrilled to have filled that void, to have replaced restriction with freedom, that I have placed a very high value on physical movement and travel ever since. As a child, I simply ran everywhere, glorying in my ability to move without braces. Throughout my boyhood and youth, I placed a very high value on physical activity and went on to excel in sports. As an adult, I value travel, and I have vowed to visit every country on earth. To this day, I love being unrestricted, either by my physical location or by any type of limiting belief. Today, the universe is my playground, the world is my home, and every city is another platform where I can share my heart and soul. Isn't it remarkable to think that my lifelong value on freedom came at least partly from the early childhood experience of a void, a perception of a severe lack of freedom? Thus, at a very early age, I began to experience the way voids create values. I soon encountered another void that became another equally important value. When I was 5, I entered kindergarten, where the teacher frequently had us draw pictures. For some reason, my drawings were like the ones made by the girls. Houses and trees, sky and sun, which we colored green, blue, and yellow. I seemed to have some gift with perspective and dimension, and I liked drawing those things. The other boys, on the other hand, preferred sketching armies and cars, which they colored black and red. So during drawing period, I repeatedly went to sit with the girls. Well, that didn't suit my teacher. "You're not a girl," she scolded me, "and you belong with the boys." For days she would drag me over to the boys' side of the classroom, put a black or red crayon in my hand, and tell me to draw like they did. Even at that early age, I just couldn't do what other people told me to do unless I believed in it myself. I couldn't draw like the other boys, and as soon as the teacher walked away, I'd go back to sit with the girls. So eventually I was made to sit in the middle of the classroom by myself. "You're not a girl, and you won't play with the boys, so you're just going to have to sit here in the middle," the teacher scolded me. Here was another confrontation with a void, not being allowed to be myself. I wanted to be creative in my own way so I could discover the activities at which I was truly exceptional. Instead, I was being asked to fit into what conventional society expected of me. From that void developed one of my highest values. I learned how important it was not to let authority stop me from being my true self. I place an equally high value on helping other people find the means to become their true selves. Being forced to sit in the middle as a so-called punishment also helped me value the idea of embracing all sorts of polarities in life, which in turn assisted me later on in finding the middle path with a more gender-balanced perspective for the rest of my life's journey. In first grade, I encountered yet another void. I was supposed to learn to read, but I showed early symptoms of dyslexia, and I couldn't make any meaning out of the letters, words, or phrases on the page. I couldn't pronounce the words either, so I was diagnosed with speech problems. From the regular class, I was put into the remedial class, and from the remedial class, I was put into what they called the dunce class. My parents were called in and told that I would never be able to read, write, or communicate. They were informed that I would never amount to much or go very far in life. From that series of voids, I eventually developed a very high value on reading, studying, learning, and teaching. And so every one of my voids created the values that continue to shape my life today. Although I was not supposed to go far in life, I went on to build a multi-million-dollar global business. Although I had difficulty reading and speaking, I became an internationally renowned writer and educator. And although I had once been called a dunce, I went on to graduate from college with honors. To teach myself numerous specialities as an expert in a number of different areas, I conducted advanced research in multiple fields, including philosophy, psychology, anthropology, physiology, chemistry, mathematics, physics, and astronomy. Challenging as my childhood experience seemed to be at the time, they were the classical voids that shaped my highest values. Because I had been previously blocked in my learning, I valued knowledge. Because I had been unable to communicate, I valued teaching and writing. Because I had felt trapped, I valued travel. And so I discovered this key principle: perceived voids create values. What you perceive as lacking and what more of determines what you value. Significantly, this is a never-ending process. When one void is filled, another one opens, spurring you to new efforts and new values. Indeed, some voids might never be filled. The artist hungry for self-expression, the mystic eager to know the secrets of the universe, the scientist ravenous for new knowledge, the person of service longing to help humanity. These people are driven by voids so great that their values become equally great. An entire lifetime might not be enough to fulfill their highest values. Other voids can be filled more easily, so that the values they engender are left behind. A young man might feel a void of self-confidence. so that he values impressing others or proving to himself that he can do what he can do. Later in life, he feels more confident, and so his values shift to other areas, serving others, perhaps, or raising a family, or founding a new enterprise. A young woman feels the void of self-love, so she values relationships that feed her need to be admired. Later in life, she appreciates herself more fully, and so her values shift to other areas, deepening her romantic and family relationships, perhaps, or expressing herself, or exploring new ideas in science or business. Thus, some of our values change throughout our lives. Others remain an essential part of who we are. Either way, however, your perceived voids determine your values, and your values shape your life. That is why understanding your highest values and organizing your life to pursue them is the secret to living an inspired and fulfilling life. The power of values. If there is something that you believe you would love to have in your life, such as a more fulfilling career, a life partner, or great financial freedom, I can tell you that the reason you don't have it yet in that particular form is almost certainly that you don't truly value it enough. There's something else you value more, and there is where your energy, time, money, and focus have gone, whether you are aware of it or not. When you truly value something, you are constantly on the lookout for opportunities to fulfill that value. You'll notice people, places, things, ideas, or events to fulfill your value that another person will surely miss. You'll mobilize your energy to take advantage of those opportunities, and you'll bring all your mental, physical, and spiritual resources to bear to make sure that you fulfill what you truly seek. Your highest values determine your attention, retention, and intention, what you notice, what you remember, what you intend to act upon. We hear a lot of these days about attention deficit disorder, the difficulties some people seem to have in being attentive and focusing steadily. But all of us have some degree of attention deficit disorder for the things we don't value. For the things we do highly value, we have what I call attention surplus order, which does a fabulous job of filtering your perceptions. Out of all the stimuli in your environment, the ones you notice are the ones that will help you fulfill your highest values. Your highest values will lead you to notice things that another person might miss, even if you tried to point it out. I perceived a striking example of the power of attention a few years ago when a close friend was driving us to our favorite sushi bar in Houston. We were on a block crowded with some stores of all kinds. But out of the myriad of choices, my friend zeroed in on a new shoe boutique that hadn't been there the last time she drove by. She not only picked that one tiny store out of the dozens of other boutiques on that busy block, she even noticed 2 or 3 particular pairs of especially desirable shoes in the shop window. I, on the other hand, couldn't for the life of me see that store, even when she tried to show me where it was. I didn't share her high value for shoes, and so I couldn't break through all the noise in the environment to see what had immediately attracted her. Her values gave her attention surplus order for those shoes. My values made it virtually impossible for me to see them all. On the other hand, I'm interested in city planning, so I couldn't take my eyes off the high-rise condominium that was being erected on the corner. I tried to talk to my friend about the things I had noticed, the design of the building, and the way it was being sited relative to the street. But I might as well have been talking about a building in China. She had driven right past that high-rise and not seen it, while I rode right past that shoe store and missed it completely. Her highest values determined her attention. My highest values determined mine. Between the two of us, which one is more likely to find fabulous shoes? Her values are perfectly aligned with that goal. If I decide I want a pair of quality shoes, I may have to momentarily realign my values to fit that goal, or link that goal to my highest values, so that my attention surplus order leads me where I want to go. I will talk you through this process many times throughout the book, helping you complete it in various key areas of your life. Your highest values also affect what you remember, creating what I call selective bias retention. That is, you are far more likely to retain information that you believe will help you attain your highest values and to forget information that does not relate to those values. My friend, to continue with the previous example, will probably never forget the address of that shoe store. I probably wouldn't remember it if you paid me. Her memory leads her to fulfill her higher values. My memory leads me to fulfill mine. We all know people who say, "Oh, I can't remember anything. I have a mind like a sieve." And then they rattle off the scores of their favorite team, the results of their latest blood pressure test and cholesterol count, or the details of their child's latest triumph in school. They may indeed have terrible memories for the things that don't matter to them, but for what truly matters, they have selective biased retention, the ability to select and hold on to the information that supports their highest values. Finally, your highest values create what I call selective biased intention, adding an extra power to those intentions that truly align with the most important values. If you place a high value on health, you'll make sure you get to the gym, even if you have to give up some other pleasures to do so. If you place a higher value on dressing for success, you might skip the gym in order to stop by your favorite fine clothing store. If you want to know what you truly value, look at what you make time for. Your highest values lend power to those intentions, and so they are the ones you fulfill. Think about the power we mobilize when we bring together attention, retention, and intention to fulfill our highest values. There is really no stopping us. A mother who has as her highest value her newborn child can sleep through a freight train and yet be awakened by the whimpering of her baby. A child who is immersed in a video game may not hear you ask, "How was school today?" but immediately looks up when you say, "Would you like to come with me to see the new movie you were talking about?" All of us have the experience of forgetting the names of random guests at a party, except for that one attractive man or woman whose every detail is vividly etched into our memories. We've all had the experience of being too tired to accept an invitation from one person and then jumping off the couch and getting ourselves dressed to take up the offer of somebody else. What we value most shapes how we process information, what we remember, and how we act, so that our minds, emotions, and intentions all work together to fulfill those most meaningful values. This is why your true highest values are infinitely more powerful than any social idealisms, and why it is so important not to allow social idealisms to cloud the clarity of your most inspiring values. When you're guided by social idealisms, you might try to do what you should or ought to. But if your attempts at maintaining attention, retention, and intention are not aligned with your highest value, you are likely to make only a half-hearted effort, and you often will not remain focused. By contrast, when you seek to fulfill your highest values, you focus instantly on whatever helps you reach your goal, and you mobilize every bit of your mind, body, and spirit to help you get there. That's why the values factor is the key to achieving a fulfilling life. By becoming aware of your highest values, you mobilize your deepest power. It's an unbeatable combination. Can you now see why I'm doing this and why I've chosen to do this 90-day live transformation, Mediocrity to Mastery, and why we're learning from this book? Have you ever heard anything like that before? This is profound. This is powerful, life-transforming information that is probably the missing piece of the puzzle in personal development that people are just getting a miss with. The whole law of attraction, the whole set your goals, things like that. I believe this is the piece of the puzzle, the missing link that will put it all together for many people. Right now, you may or may not fully understand what's being said, but if that's your first time hearing that, then you'll get it on one level. I've read that part now about 10 times. I'm reading out loud to you. I've got different parts of my brain firing as well, because I know I'm doing it live, and I know I'm talking it out to other people are getting it. So I'm getting it in different ways as well. I just felt so inspired just reading that. I was feeling it welling up in me, But another reason why, I connect very much with John Demartini and what he says, because I can see a lot of similarities in my life and my childhood, what he talks about. And as I was reading there, you're probably thinking back to your childhood and thinking about where your voids were. You know, where are your voids, and what are your values, and did your voids create your values? And if your voids create your values, if that's what you really want, you know, obviously we have voids in our life, but maybe we don't want to create a value out of that, right? If that's what we really want, right? And so I can completely see it in my own life, where I had health challenges, where I felt really restricted, having asthma as a child, which was brought on by doing physical activity much of the time. So you know, so then I put a high value on physical activity. You know, maybe you can see I put a high value on physical activity. You know, and martial arts and movement, and I just wanted to break free from it. I want to be able to run like the wind, like Forrest Gump, and not be restricted by my breathing. And that happened. I was able to overcome my health challenges. But here's an interesting thing that he talks about in this, is at the start, when it's a void, then you value it for yourself. You know, you want to break through for yourself. But then once you've broken through and you've mastered whatever it is, whether it is your health, whether it is your finances, then you move to another level, and then it becomes about serving others. Then you think, well, I did this, I walked that path, now I want to help others do the same as well. And that's what it was for me when I broke through with my you know, healing up from the asthma, when I had my knees were completely shot, and I healed up them, and you know, different things about my health. Whenever I got over all my health challenges, then it was like, wow, I just want to help everyone else do the same, you know. Same with finances. When I was coaching over the years, you know, one of the things people were saying was like, yeah, I'd love to do that, but I don't have the money. And it seemed to be coming up so much, I don't have the money, I don't have the money. And it's something I wanted to help them with, and I'm like, well, that's something I'm struggling with as well, so I don't really feel qualified to coach you on that, you know. Or people want to coach, and they said, well, I want to be coached by you, but I can't afford it, you know. And there were certain things I couldn't afford. And so instead of saying, well, you know, I couldn't really say to them, well, look, you know, that's just an excuse, because there were things I was making excuses about as well that I couldn't afford. But then once, you know, you start to, then that was a void for me. And that was a void for me as a child as well, even though I had a lot of great things, had a great childhood, still I did have the void of money for a number of years, where, you know, my parents, my family went through a rough time for a while. You know, so that was also a void for me of not being able to enjoy life to its fullest because of a restriction of finances, you know. And I've had that a number of times in my life. So then it became a value of mine, and I can see the importance of how it can transform people's lives. And so now I want to help other people. You know, it's, you know, to be able to live where you want in the world and do what you want. Like this morning, what an amazing day. You know, if I would have chosen to stay in mediocrity, you know, I'd be going to a job, or maybe I just would have finished my work for the weekend, and I would just be so pissed off that I'd just like drink myself stupid all weekend, you know, just to get over the stress of the week's work in a job that I hate or something. But I chose to break free from that, and it was an arduous path. It wasn't an easy path, actually, you know. I had to go through a number of challenges, but now it's amazing. Where this morning I got up and I went and taught a Tai Chi class down on the promenade, overlooking amazing scenery, beautiful weather. Went for lunch with my family. We went out for lunch, then went to the beach, to work out with a friend on the beach, went swimming, came back, spent some time with family again, and then now I'm speaking to you wherever in the world. You know, that is doing what you love and loving what you do, right? And I'd like you to do the same. And I want to continue to do it for myself. I want to magnify it, and I want to do more of it, because, you know, we all want more. We all want more. You know, no one wakes up in the morning and says, you know, I wish I had less money. I wish I could just, you know, check my bank balance and be less money in it. No, we all want more money. We all want to have more money in the bank, more savings, more money to spend. We all want more of it, you know. So please don't be in a fantasy or fool yourself and think you want less. No one wakes up in the morning and says, I wish I had less energy. You know, I wish I was more lethargic, and I wish my health was a bit lower, and I wish I had more pain in my body. You know, no one wishes that. Everyone wants more. We want more health, more well-being, more energy. We want to be able to express ourselves more, right? We don't wake up and say, I wish I had less clarity, right? Well, you know, I prefer less clarity. I want everything to be foggy. I don't want to know what my vision is for my life or anything. No, we want more clarity, right? We want a more detailed vision. We want a grander vision. You know, no one says, I wish I had a lesser vision. Do you know what I mean? Do you get the point? You know, don't fool yourself into thinking you want less because some authority figure or idealism has told you that it's greedy to want more. You know, because it's not that. That is the nature of humans. That is natural. It's natural to want more. It's natural to want more of everything in life. So please let go of that. That thing where you think that you're being greedy if you want more and beating yourself up about it and feeling guilty about it. We all want more, right? And once you let go of that limitation, that limiting belief that thinks if you want more, you're greedy. If you want more, then other people aren't getting. If you want more, then you should feel guilty. That's BS. That's just a belief system. It's not real, okay? So I'd like you to, well, you can do whatever you want, you know, but I definitely let go of that one. It's not helping you. It's just holding you back. It's like an anchor, right? So yeah, so you know I wish you to like live your most inspiring, fulfilled destiny. That's my wish for you. And so stick with me. If you want to create the financial freedom, live where you want the world, come and join me here and hang out at the beach and come to my Tai Chi class and stuff. You're very welcome to. You know, you can join my team. I'll put a link below this. If you're watching it live, there's no link below it now. I'll put it on afterwards. You can join my team. I'm helping people create financial freedom all over the world with a proven system which is like nothing else on the planet. So you're very welcome to click on the link below when it becomes available and join my team, get going, and we'll connect on a one-on-one level and we'll make it happen for you. You know, as long as you're willing to take the actions, make incremental improvements like I talked about at the beginning, just another stepping stage, just keep moving forward, and you'll do it. You know, you'll do it. You'll do it. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching this evening. It's been a pleasure. I'm just amazed. It's like a miracle, like that we were able to go live. I think it's come across good quality. I'm not too sure because for the half an hour before, it kept on going off every 2 minutes. And as soon as I went live at whatever it was, we're a bit late going, 7 minutes past 9. Then it all worked out for us. So that's phenomenal. So tomorrow evening we're going to start an hour earlier because, well, one thing, the World Cup final is on it, and it will be 9 p.m. where I am. So we're going to start an hour earlier than these evenings. So that's 7 p.m. London time. Just Google what time it is in London. 7 p.m. London time. That's what time we're going to start. Don't be confused about GMT. It's BST, British Summer Time, right? So when you're checking out, just say what time is it now in London, and then you find out what it is. An hour earlier tomorrow night. And so because the internet here, it all slows down when the football match comes on because a lot of it's been broadcast through the internet over here. So that's us for this evening. Have a great night. Look forward to talking with you again tomorrow evening. Make sure you tune in. It is a Sunday. So let's talk about some spiritual stuff on a Sunday. Look forward to speaking to you then. And like I said, if you haven't joined our team yet, join our team. If you haven't bought this book yet, you know, go to drdemartini.com and get the book. Comes and get the book. I have no affiliation whatsoever with John Demartini. He's just a genius, you know, that I wish to emulate in many ways. And I can see a lot of my own voids in life were similar to his, my own challenges, and a lot of my values are similar as well. And so, yeah, you know, let's do that. Okay, thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow.